Alright guys, it's that time of the year again. We've got another surprise lurking. My new project is building up and I'm excited to share it with you guys. Have a look guys, have a look. Meet my new project bike. Nah, I wouldn't do that to you guys. I wouldn't do that to you guys. Meet the stump jump. We have a stock specialized stump jumper. It's on the, I think it's the FSR frame platform. So 2016 to 2019. And we're sporting a RockShox Revelation 150 up front. Specialized butcher tires. I think it's should be 2.4 or 2.5. Rocking a SRAM 11-speed drivetrain. A custom tuned Fox rear shock, 135 millimeters. Specialized handlebars, I think they're 730 millimeters. And Shimano 2-piston hydraulic disc brakes. What is this? Should be a command post, HR seat post, and lastly, I'm actually not sure which wheels these are. Can't quite see. I'll have to look into that for you guys, but not too sure which wheels these are. But yeah, there's a couple things that need to be changed on it before I can go out and ride it properly. I got it with a great deal, so there's a lot of stuff I want to do to upgrade it. Alright, so you may be wondering what parts am I gonna swap over. So I've got my rally here. This one is basically fully dialed in. So obviously I've got a couple experiments left to do on it, but the parts that I've got running on it, I trust them. So I've got a solid idea of what I want to install on this bike. So starting off with handlebars and stem. I'm almost inclined to just stick with the line and go with the line amp stem. I think it's 45, should be 40 mil stem, 40 or 45, I'll double check. And for the handlebars, these are the 12 mil rise. I actually want to increase that and go to a 20 or 35 mil rise, maybe even 45. But you see, the thing is, these ones have 9-degree up sweep, and if you look, I have them rolled forward, so they actually, the actual part where my hands contact the bars is actually a lot higher than these ones that should be a 20 mil up sweep. No, it's 20 mil rise. But yeah, for now I'm just gonna stick with these, but eventually I want to get new handlebars, either 35 to 45 mil rise, and then obviously stem exactly the same as that one. The next swap is seat post. See, this what's it called? A command post is terrible. I believe this one is leaking air. It needs a service. The seals are cracked. So it's just terrible. And if you take a look at this, I don't want to drop the bike, but yeah, it wobbles. So that needs to be swapped. And then down here on drivetrain, the previous owner was running a massive, huge chainring, which went and scuffed the frame. But this is a huge 36 tooth chainring. Ignore the wax, just came from cleaning the bikes, and ignore the pedals. They're from the rally. I'll get proper color ones for this bike, but it's a SRAM SX 11-speed. For the time being, after as I continue to ride it and dial it in, I'm just gonna get a 32 or 30 tooth and just swap it there, and then eventually I will swap over to my trusty Shimano Dior system. This Dior system has worked with me pretty well now for the last year and a half, so I am dead set on getting one of these. It shifts well, it handles bumps well, the clutch is really good. And even after smacking it and bashing it a couple times, it still survives. Also, I'm quite inclined to get a another SLX shifter for this one as well. We'll see. Budget dictates, because this one is very smooth. The other change that needs to be done is on the brakes. See, these ones are BR M447. I'm not actually sure which ones those are, but I believe on the rally I was running M410s, but I'm swapping those over soon because I'll be running front and rear 4-piston Shimano Dior MT520s. You can see from the levers up here, I've got both levers. I'm just waiting for some other parts and then I'll install the exact same 4-piston 180 in the rear system. The same thing is going to happen here because right now I think it's 180 disc and 2-piston front and rear. But in the meantime, while I ride it and get used to the bike, I'm just gonna swap over to metallic brake pads. That should give me a bit of a power boost in the meantime, and then over time I will swap them over. The other thing I'd like to change on both bikes, but more so this one, is the cranks. See, these cranks are 175mm cranks, and me being a shorter, smaller person, they're actually a bit too long for me. So far I've been riding these 170mm IXF ones from the budget build. You'll remember from the video, and they're okay. I have rock strikes, you can see, and this is a hardtail, mind you. I've had my fair share of rock strikes, but it's actually, usable. These ones I can honestly feel they're a bit long because that extra 5mm was a bit extra, so I'm hoping to drop it down at the bare minimum 170. Best case scenario, all the way down to 165. That should be my ideal crank length. And then from the short time riding it, I've realized just how much I like my WTB Volt, which I have damaged. I've had it now for quite a while. I am not really enjoying this specialized saddle, and I'll actually show which one it is. I can't even tell what name it is. I'll look it up and find it for you guys, but if I don't find it, I'll put it up on screen if I find it. But yeah, eventually I want to swap over to a WTB Volt, narrow saddle this side. And then handlebars, as I said, 50mm rise. Want to take them up to 750, 760. Because on the rally I'm running a 760 line amp. So probably just best to stick with it. Then for the time being, while I get used to the bike, I'm just going to run it 150, 135. But eventually, because these older stump jumper models, they are a bit steep. I think this one should be 66 or 66.5 on the head angle. Static, obviously when sag is brought into the equation, it starts slacking out. It is pretty steep. I'm going to ride it as is, obviously, as I tune it up and get it going the way I want to. But eventually the idea is to switch to a 160 fork. And then if I buy a new fork, I'll probably move that one onto the rally. And then have a 160 system that side. For now, I'm going to stick with this shock. It's in pretty good condition. Perfect shock to learn on. But eventually, yes, I will be buying a new link and probably switch over to RockShox Deluxe or something like that. But yes, this is basically the bike. The other thing I haven't really enjoyed, while obviously do a couple of the trails I've done, I want to get it properly serviced, the suspension service, before I take it out to actual trail riding and actually get used to it, is the tires. Whilst these ones are okay, I'm not going to swap them over immediately because they're still in pretty good condition. I think they're Specialized Butcher. Yeah, they're the grid trail version. But I don't like them. I don't like them at all. They throw a lot of stones, and I don't know, I just don't get the same confidence I get from my trusty hand stamp, especially in the rear. In the front, it feels fine. I haven't had any issues with grip. It's same with this one. I actually want to leave the Vittoria Martello and go for a Shelby Magic Mary up front. Hand stamp is staying. I might put it on the back here because I'm definitely getting Magic Mary for this one as well. But on the rear, I'm debating whether to get a handstand for the new Romy. We'll see whenever I order tires. But yes, anyways, let's get on to some of the upgrades that I'm getting for this bad boy that I'll be riding hopefully this weekend. And I've got them right here in my little goodies bag. Alright, so got myself an angle set. So as it currently stands, this one should be a 65.5 head angle. And before, when I was running a mini mullet and I had a 26 in the rear, 27.5 in the front, it was actually down to, I believe, a 64.5, somewhere there. And I really enjoyed the handling, especially on steep stuff. For the trails I ride, it was really nice. It's just that obviously I've enjoyed the full 27.5 wheel vibe. So I want to get that stability and control that I had whenever I had a mini mullet back alongside the 27.5 wheel. So I'm hoping this drops it back down to 64. What I have here is a Works Components angle set. Head set. You can see it's actually pretty angled, although it's coming out, but there we go. You can see the angle set right there. If you look inside, you can see it's actually offset. I'm hoping to install that on there and get either a 64.5 degree head angle and get my stability back. I've also got other goodies, but yeah, I've also got a custom head top cap, I believe, with the name of the bike. My little project bike matches the little stickers that are on the top tube. But yeah, hopefully I get my top cap installed, headset installed. Unfortunately, the brakes didn't arrive in time, so I'll be running a 2-piston brake for a bit longer. But yeah, that's basically the plan for this bike. After that's done, there isn't really much else I want to do to it, apart from obviously shorter cranks, maybe swap the fork for something else. But there's a chance I just take that one and put it here. And then my ideal fork is like a RockShox Lyric. That's the one I'd want. But yeah, for this bike, it's just the usual general servicing and tires. I want to switch to a handstand rear, Magic Mary up front. I got some spare bearings just in case, because the dust and wet this side can get in there. But yeah, that's the story for the rally. The rally is pretty much set up, but this one is the new project bike. Now that my rally is basically finished, can't wait to ride it with the headset, the angle set. This one is gonna have my attention for a long time. But yeah, this weekend I'll probably be on the rally for a bit more, because I've got to deal with the angle set, setting up the angle set, and it's also getting a suspension service. And then I think for 2 weekends I'll probably be dialing that in. And then after that, pretty sure I'll have serviced the shock and fork on this bike. We'll take it out for a spin and we'll see how it compares with the rally. Might even be able to get a friend of mine to join me, and we'll have both bikes and we'll be able to ride them back to back, and we'll see. Are we on Team Aggressive Hardtail, or are we on an all-mountain trail bike? But I guess we'll see as time goes. But I've actually been enjoying the way it sits in its travel, because I guess it does slack out the headset, the head tube angle. So yeah, the other thing I'm a bit worried about is the seat post. It's a 150mm. It's a bit long, but I'm also suspecting the 175 cranks are a bit too long, so I'd want the saddle like 5mm lower. But I think when I swap that out, I'll probably be able to use the 150mm system, because as it is, this is still sticking out, so I can't push it down any further because it has this weird bend. And from what I understand, even the new stump jumpers still have that problem. But for my size, it's pretty fine. I mean, if it's too big, I can always just slide it down a bit. But yeah, that's basically the plan. And stay tuned, I guess, for the next episode when we take the angle set for a spin. And we'll see how much changes on the rally. That should be done now this weekend. Anyway, guys, thank you for watching. It's been quite the week. Impressive suspension. Yeah.